everyone, welcome to Girls STEMpede. Our guest today is Nancy Choi, a project director at Natural Systems Utilities, which is a sustainability company working to eliminate water crises and challenges nationwide. Hi, Ms. Choi. Thank you for being here today.
Hi, Chloe. Good to be here.
My first question is, could you briefly tell us what you do and could you take us through your typical day? So what's your favorite part, your least favorite part, etc.?
So as you mentioned, I'm a project director for a company called Natural Systems Utilities, or NSU as we call it. And basically what I do is I work on projects where we design, build, and operate essentially wastewater treatment plants, but they're also water reuse plants. So we take water, a wastewater, I treat it, and we try to find beneficial ways to reuse that water. That kind of fits in with the goals of sustainability and trying to use more water more than once if it's possible. I've been in this industry for about 20 years now, and kind of always working in this field of water, but at various types of projects. My background is in environmental engineering, which is usually a part of the civil engineering or related to the civil engineering discipline in school. We work on projects all over the country, in cities, in kind of suburbs and rural areas. And the idea there is, everyone produces waste and something needs to be done with that wastewater. So I've been working on some pretty exciting projects throughout the country where we're finding ways to use that. My typical day is, I'm working on different projects, whatever the needs of the project are. And right now, I have some projects that are going through design phase where we're figuring out, how it fits in, what treatment process we use, how we get the wastewater, and how we get the water to where we need to go, as well as we're starting construction on some projects. So that's figuring out all the pieces of equipment we need, how we're going to build everything, and starting that process to actually build these things. So I spend a lot of time interfacing with our design team, as well as interfacing with our client. We usually have clients we work for that we're building these treatment plants for, and they have certain requirements or certain needs of how the system fits. I would say the best part of the day is that interaction working with both clients and internally of figuring out problems. I think that's essentially the gist of being an engineer, is to be a problem solver. The worst part of the day is not having enough time because there's so much to do sometimes, just kind of running out of time, or when I say run out of time, obviously still have to eat, sleep, live life. But there's always the next day.
I love the overall idea of natural systems utilities because I always feel bad, when I'm taking a shower and it runs too long, or if I take a glass of water and I don't drink it, I pour it down the sink, and I know that's wasteful, but there's nothing really I can do about it. So the fact that you guys are sort of repurposing that type of water is really, really beneficial, I think. And I mean, you've done it in so many diverse areas in different states, so that's awesome. So my next question is, do you have a specific experience or moment when you realized that you wanted to devote the rest of your life to STEM or to engineering? And if so, how did this realization make you feel?
There are probably two experiences I could think of, because at first, I think devoting the rest of your life to something is a very huge commitment, I would say. I do think early on in high school, I was always interested in like math and science. And so I decided to do some science research. So I happened to grow up on Long Island, and there was the DNA Cold Spring Harbor labs. I inquired and found out if there was anything I could do, and I was able to work in a lab and do some science research, and I loved it. There was something about potentially discovering something new, and going through like the scientific method and trying to understand what problem you're trying to solve. And then at the same time, you don't even know if you're going to find something, but you just try it. So I think for me, that sort of solidified that I really love science. And it's something that I wanted to go into, whatever that meant. Then I went to college and I thought, oh, I'll be a biology major. But then I ended up going to an engineering school. So I thought, I think it might be good to get an engineering degree. I decided to choose environmental engineering because there are so many aspects of biology, chemistry to environmental engineering. So I kind of went with what I thought was interesting and just kept going from there. It's sort of that the as part of advice, I guess I would give is, always say yes, in terms of when opportunities come your way and you're not sure, um, don't let that doubt hold you back from trying something new.